Hey guys, Chris the Midwest Bass Hunter, and something really awesome happened the other day. Big old box full of lures came in the mail. Summer is here and it's time for frog fishing. So I got a bunch of frogs. Most of these frogs, no, all of these frogs are either from brands I have never tried before, or it's a model that I've never tried before. So we'll just go through them quick and talk about them a little bit. I don't have all the prices for these frogs in front of me, but for all of them in here, they averaged about 10 bucks a piece. So there's some that are going to be $5 and $6, and some that are going to be on the more higher end. I don't know exactly what they all cost, but I'll tell you if they're the high end or the low end, okay? Or in the middle. So all right, so here's the first one, and you guys are probably going to be a little surprised that I've never tried one of these. This is a SPRO Bronze Eye frog, the 65 millimeter model, 5/8 of an ounce. And let's see, what color is this? Rainforest black. So let's pop this bad boy open and see. Now, SPRO makes really good frogs. Everybody knows that. I have a SPRO Poppin frog, and I actually have a SPRO King Daddy frog, that big giant. It's like this, but it's really big. Like 1 ounce frog, but these supposedly really walk really well. They walk really nicely. So and they're great. They're really designed well. They make sure that you don't have to trim the legs on them. The hooks are turned out a little bit, but they're still up against the bait so they don't get snagged. The Bronze Eye. So this one's about middle of the road. This is about a $10 bait. So but they're good and they're pretty durable. And I don't know about this particular frog, but the Poppin version, it doesn't hardly, it doesn't fill up with water. You're not having to squeeze it every cast or anything. So excited to try the old SPRO Bronze. I might fish with that thing tonight. So there you go, number one. Okay, now this one, this one I'm really excited about. And actually this frog is the reason that I went and bought a bunch of frogs. And when I picked this one up, I thought, you know what? Let's just get a whole bunch of them. So the Molex Sneaky Frog. So I was actually listening to a podcast with Carl Jacobson, who is a angler. I think he's on the Bassmaster Elite Series, and he's from Australia, and he works with Molex, and he designed this frog. Oh, my buddy Chad's over there catching them. Nice. That's a nice one. But Carl Jacobson designed this frog, and it's called the Sneaky Frog, and it has a real tight walking action. So as you can see, it's kind of a longer bait. Let's take it out of the package here. This is a pretty unique frog. So it's a long, slender bait. It's a lot like a spook type bait, right? And it only has a single tail. It does not have the traditional two-piece skirt legs. And it has the weight right in the middle of the frog. And when I was listening to Carl on this podcast, he said that you can actually sit this bait in place, and if you do it right, you can just kind of move it back and forth without really advancing the lure. So when I heard all that, I'm like, man, I got to try one of these out. So I looked around. I found this one on landbigfish.com. That's where I bought all this stuff from. And this was the only color they had left. Everything else was sold out. So that's why I ended up with this red color. Otherwise, I probably would have got a black one. But I think red will do just fine. Honestly, I don't think that the color of a frog is that important. I think that the fish is going to see a silhouette, and that's the important part. Especially in the evening hours, it's really not going to be a big factor, in my opinion. Other people may say differently, but that's my thoughts on that. So I was going to show you guys and compare this to the SPRO. So the weight, okay, there's the weight, and that's just a little disc weight right there. And you see it's right in the middle of the frog. On this, it's back here in the back of the frog. And what that does is cause the frog to sit kind of tail down a little bit. And then when you move it, you pull it and it pops it down a little bit, and it'll help it kind of walk back and forth. what they say is with that in the middle, it really kind of just pivots on there, and you can almost keep the bait stationary and still manipulate it, still work it. So that's pretty interesting. Super excited about this bait, and I cannot wait to throw this thing. I'm gonna have all these packages on my boat. I will not throw them in the water. There's a lot of freaking trash in this pond we're in. This is an expensive frog. This thing is close to $20, so like 15, 16 bucks. I mean, it's not cheap at all, so that's on the high end. Okay, next we have a river to sea bullywah. Bullywah 2, actually. And this is a bigger size. Apparently they have a smaller one. This is 2 5/8 inch. And it doesn't say what it weighs, but I'm sure it's over a ½ ounce. So let's open this thing. These are supposed to be really good walking frogs too. But I've never tried one of these. So it kind of has like a little keel, almost like a boat on the bottom. I don't know how well you can see that because it's black, but there's like a channel and a channel. And then this, it's kind of like a tri-hole boat, like the bottom side of a boat. And supposedly that is really supposed to help this walk. And it's so pronounced down here, it's kind of like a rudder. And this thing is supposed to walk really good. And I've heard from people that it does walk really good. Yeah, and it's got nice silicone, or these are maybe just straight up rubber. Yeah, I think they're well, I don't know. But those are a little bit long. I might trim those up, but we'll see. Big hooks on there. Big nasty hooks on there. Should do a good job of hooking. I know River to Sea, obviously they make the Whopper Plopper, and there's great hooks on a Whopper Plopper. I don't know what hooks they use. Oh, they use the River to Sea hooks. That's right, I need that. So the bullywah, this is about middle of the road. This is like $8 or $9. I don't think it's not too terrible expensive. All right, what do we got next? All right, we got a Terminator popping frog. Let's check this thing out. So this frog, I noticed, is a little bit different shape than the rest. It doesn't really have the traditional frog shape. It's kind of wider in the back. It's you know, actually kind of the same size all the way down, and then it slims out quite a bit in the back. And it's got the big old scoop on the front. That should work really, really good for spitting water. Kind of walk it back and forth and spit some water. Good friend of mine, Steve Basinger from Steve Basinger Fishing. He fishes with these Terminator frogs. He likes them. He told me to pick some up. So I grabbed this one. And I also grabbed the non-popping version, the walking frog. And these have VMC hooks on them. Terminator is part of the Rapala family, so Rapala owns VMC, and VMC and Terminator, they're all from the same family. But there's the two frogs side by side. Obviously the popping frog is a lot different. It's much slimmer, although the walking frog still has the kind of boat tail action, kind of trims down at the back, isn't as wide. And this is also purported to walk super good, really walks well. Big hooks, and they're almost kind of turned up when you smash it down. These aren't quite as big. Definitely a smaller hook on the popping frog than the walking frog. But nice legs on them. And here's the deal with frogs, guys. I think if you have any color, black is the color to have. And you know, I've always kind of thought that, but I've confirmed that with some other fishermen friends of mine that kind of agree that black is really the only color you need. So these Terminator frogs, they're not too bad. They're under 10 bucks, so these are pretty reasonable. All right, let's see what we got next. Oh, this is a Jackal Kyra frog, 2.5 inch or 2.2 inch and ½ ounce. This is a green frog color. And honestly, some of these colors, they were sold out of all the colors, so I kind of went with what I could get. And like I said, I don't think it matters that much on a frog, honestly. So let's check this thing out. This is a compact frog. It's not as big as the rest, but it is a ½ ounce, so you can have no problem throwing this thing. But it's a little bit smaller. And this has a pretty interesting shape. As you can see, the front has kind of a boat shape as well, but a little bit different. And it almost looks like elbows right there, like that's the frog's front legs. And then the back legs right here. So it does replicate a frog pretty well. And it is really compact. That's probably, I don't know that I've ever fished with a frog really that small. And as you can see, this one has the weight in the center as well. Kind of like that Molix frog. Not quite in the center, but a little bit closer to the center than the back. Tiny little legs on it. I mean, this thing is really small compared to this Terminator frog. I mean, it's half the size, or not quite, a little more than half the size. Pretty small. There's a gunshot going off. Why are you shooting at me, Chad? So there's that little guy. I think this thing will be killer. So I've never really fished with small frogs, but I know that people definitely catch fish on them. I just noticed this has it's glued right around where the hook comes through the body. So hopefully it won't really suck up much water. You know, one of the things with frog fishing is I like to get frogs that don't suck up water. And I know there's tricks to prevent that, but I like them to just come out of the package and not do that if possible. But sometimes, you know, you gotta, you know, a lot of frogs, there's good frogs out there that suck up water. So I like it when they don't right out of the package. So a lot of these we'll have to see how they work. I just got frogs laying all over down here. All right, let's see, what else do we got? Oh, that Jackal frog, I think that was over 10 bucks. That was one of the more expensive ones. All right, so now we got a Zoom frog. And honestly, I didn't even know that Zoom made frogs until very recently. I did not know they made them. Now, these are reasonable frogs. These are not expensive. I think this frog was like 6 bucks. So that's not expensive at all. And it's a pretty traditional frog, pretty traditional shape, nothing too fancy there. The hooks are really tight up against the body there, so you should be able to run it through some pretty thick stuff and it's not gonna catch up. It shouldn't hang up too bad. This is really kind of a rubbery, almost sticky material compared to the other frogs. I don't know if that's gonna matter, if the fish is gonna hold on to that longer, or anything like that. I don't know, but it definitely is different. I mean, this is not sticky at all. It's real smooth. And this is, I mean, it's sticky. It sticks to my fingers when I rub it. And this is a little different. It has this little third tail in the middle. Not sure why, just to give it a little flash, I guess, a little bit of extra action back there when you're working it back and forth. I don't know, I've never used this before. This frog, like I said, I never used this one, but by the looks of it, it should walk pretty good. We'll have to check it out and see. I could tie all these on and throw them all out there and tell you how they walk, but then this video would be like 40 minutes long. All right, and let's see here, the last thing that I got. The last one, and this is a Z-Man Leapfrogs, hollow body frog. And same deal, I did not know that Z-Man made frogs. I actually saw this when I was scrolling through the website where I bought all these from, and that's how I found it. There was a lot of frogs on there I didn't know existed, so obviously, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there. But this is pretty traditional frog. They call it what do they call it? Oh, leap frogs. It's got nice big hooks on it. Nothing too fancy though. This is a cheap bait. This is like $5 or less, so this is probably the cheapest one of the bunch. I noticed that the tails, or the feet, or legs, whatever you want to call them, they're a little bit long. I might trim those up a touch, but it does have kind of a boat hole design. I mean, they all kind of do, but some of them are more pronounced. This one's pretty pronounced, so I think that kind of helps them walk. But we'll have to see. You know, I've never fished with this, so who knows. This one kind of has a big hole there where the hooks come through, so hopefully it doesn't soak up water if it sits there. Good looking frog. It's got a little Z on top for Z-Man. But yeah, super excited, guys, to get out and fish these frogs. perfect time of year. I love frog fishing. If you don't get excited for frog fishing, then you're not alive. You need to check your pulse, because it's pretty much the funnest way to fish. Right up there for sure. So super stoked to get out. And I've caught some fish. I've caught some really, really good fish already this year on frogs or topwater frog style baits. So super stoked to get back on that action here. Now, I don't know what I'm gonna do here on this pond tonight, but I might throw a frog. We'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell down there so you don't miss anything. And hey, go check me out on Instagram. It's at Midwest Bass Hunter. Check me out over there. I'm trying to increase my followers there. I don't have that many. I'm trying to get to 500, so help me out a little bit on that. And I'm trying to post on there a little bit more than I have been. So once again, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.